Hi, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Jewett. This is lesson 7. We're continuing through our writing process. Fictional narrative drafting is what we're working on today. We are going to continue working on a writing project. When we write, we go through different steps. This is called the writing process. Let me make this a little larger for us. The writing process has 4 parts: plan, draft, edit, publish. Let's review our planning page from yesterday. Our characters, and again, this was for the story The Milk, so our title is The Milk. Characters: Jane. Things about her: she has dreams, has big plans. Setting: a long time ago, happened outside on a farm or a roadhouse. Beginning of the story: Jane puts milk in a bucket to sell. In the middle, Jane makes lots of plans to use the cash from selling the milk. And in the end, Jane spills the milk and doesn't get any cash. And the moral is, don't spend your money before you get it, or take one step at a time. Today, we will use our planning page to help us create a draft. Today, we will write a draft in paragraph format. Let's start with our title. So I have my draft page from yesterday, or not my draft page, my plan page from yesterday. And the first thing it wants is the title at the top. So I'm going to write The Milk. Now let's see our next step in our draft. Next, we will need a starting sentence. This should introduce the characters in the setting. It will explain where the story takes place. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to put that into my piece. Now, whenever I start a writing piece, I always indent first. So there's this red margin. Put my finger down just to create an indentation for the first sentence. So I'm going to start with just information on here. A long time ago, on a farm, oops, let me slide that over so you can see it. Oh, and now I go back to the red line. I'm done indenting. That was only to start my paragraph. Lived a girl named Jane, who had big dreams. So again, I tried to incorporate my characters and setting into my topic or first sentence. A long time ago on a farm lived a girl named Jane who had big dreams. Now I'm going to go back and look at my next part. I bet it's going to have me put in the beginning. Now let's brainstorm ideas from a topic sentence for this paragraph. Oh, well, I already brainstormed. That was my planning page, so we already checked that off. Now we're going to take another few minutes to reread our notes and think about the order in which we want to write about these things in the paragraph. You should number the notes on your worksheet in the order you think you should write about them. So I'm going to go back and do that quick. Well, so far, first was my title. 2 was my character and my setting. 3 is my beginning. 4 is my middle. And 5 is my end. And I think by then, I think that should be the order of events. It's kind of already planned out that way, which makes it easy. Next, we will create and write sentences that provide supporting details for the topic sentence. I will write these on chart paper. I'm writing them on my loose leaf paper. And you're welcome to copy these down or just refer to them with me. So if you'd like to get a sheet of paper, you can copy this down or again, follow along with me. While you write, it is helpful to use temporal words. I call them transition words. First, next, then, last to help the paragraph flow. Let's talk about the order in which the information should be presented in the paragraph. I will number the notes on the chart paper, and then we will write the paragraph and read it aloud, which I already did. Good paragraphs also have a concluding sentence at the end of a paragraph. A good concluding sentence wraps things up. I'm going to come back to the slide in a moment. I think I'm going to go back to my writing piece, and I'm going to see if I can get the beginning, middle, and end into my writing piece. Again, it's a retell of the milk. And I noticed it mentioned those transition words. So I'm going to say, first, I'm going to use the characters' names. Right here, I'm at my beginning of the story. Jane puts milk in a bucket to sell. And I'm going to try to put this, and I haven't mentioned the road. And places it on her head. I'm just going to actually, maybe that's good enough. First, Jane puts milk in a bucket to sell and places on her head. Next, Jane makes a lot of plans to use cash from selling the milk. I have my book here. She does. She makes a ton of plans. Let me go back to that story. I have big plans. I will sell this milk, she said, and I will use the cash to get a hen. I hope my hen will make lots of eggs. And I will sell those eggs and use the cash to get a cute piglet. I will take care of the piglet and let him munch on pig slop till he gets nice and plump. Then I will sell the pig to get a nice dress that I can dance in. I'm going to stop there. There's lots of details that I might want to put in there. Jane makes lots of plans to use cash from selling the milk. Maybe want to add a detail here, maybe just one to make sure I add one. She dreams of buying a dress to dance in. Next, there's the end of my story. While she's dreaming, what happens? I'm going to go back to my story again. But just as she was thinking of the dress, she tripped on a stone and the bucket fell with a crash. The milk splashed on the path. Jane made a face and fumed at the spilled milk. The moral of the story, take one step at a time. Again, for my ending, I said Jane spills some milk and doesn't get any cash. And the moral is take one step at a time. So I'm going to say, last, Jane spills the milk and doesn't get any cash. Okay, I'm going to go back because I know it mentioned something about a conclusion sentence. Maybe I'll go back and reread this quick. A long time ago, on a farm, lived a girl named Jane who had big dreams. First, Jane put milk in a bucket to sell and places it on her head. Oh, I might need to fix it up, but I'm going to wait till my editing thing. Jane makes a lot of plans to use cash from selling the milk. She dreams of buying a dress to dance in. Last, Jane spills the milk and doesn't get any cash. Okay, I'm going to go back and check out the next part. It says a good concluding sentence wraps things up and often is a restatement of the topic sentence. Well, in this case, I think I want to kind of focus on the moral of the story, which was either take one step at a time or don't spend your money before you get it. So I think I'm going to conclude that. I'm going to use that as like a ending to it. Let me go back. So I might say, Jane, I want to use the character's name, learned to not spend her money before she got it. Or I could say, or take one step at a time. I'm going to just verify that I've included my title, I've included my characters and my setting and my topic sentence. A long time ago on a farm lived a girl named Jane who had big dreams. I included my beginning. First, Jane puts milk in a bucket to sell and places on her head. I'm going to have to fix that tomorrow. That's my editing day. Jane makes a lot of plans to use cash from selling the milk. And then I add the details. She dreams of buying a dress to dance in. Last, Jane spills the milk and doesn't get any cash. Jane learns to not spend her money before she got it, or take one step at a time. Okay, I'm going to go back to my plan over here. Just make sure I check off all my boxes. Tomorrow, we will work on editing. So that's our next step in our process. I already caught a couple mistakes. I think I forgot a transition word. I think I need to fix up some of my wording. I think I even might have left a period out. So we'll have to go back tomorrow and double check to see if we have all of those pieces.